What's up, cohort 7? This is Kyle. Just wanting to make this video for you and help as best I can with Tevera. I know it's confusing, but hopefully this one can get you guys a little bit more help of just what it means for logging hours and being able to do everything. So I'm on Tevera here, um, and there might be some things on here I might not be able to do based since I'm not a student anymore, but I think I should be able to show you guys pretty much what's needed. So when you log in, this is the first thing that'll come up. For your logging your hours, the two main places you're going to need are obviously timesheets, but before you go to timesheets, you're going to want to go to site placements. So when site placements comes up, obviously, if you haven't done this yet, this will just be, it'll show pre-application tasks, and then I don't think it'll show anything else. First thing you need to do is go on to pre-application tasks. It says complete and upload COVID-19 assumption of risk. When you look at it, mine's already completed, but I'll open it up. It says student name, training site, just put CBU for that. Just log it, and then I think you just click submit once that's done, and then it should automatically be completed. So once you have done that, what you're going to want to do is, again, it's a little different because I have all these sites that I've added. Let me go to the bottom. Okay, so there might be one that says just a blank one says select site, select supervisor, or just optional add another site. So what you do is you click select site, and then mine's gonna be at the top. Okay, so we have all these different sites that have been uploaded onto Tevera for whether it's working with CBU or maybe some outside. Everyone that we've worked with and ones that we have worked with in the past are going to be on here. So for example, if you were going to, let's just say you were going to go to, we'll just choose one random. So we'll say Claremont Training Room. You click on that and you'll say start. It says you'll begin paperwork. Just say, yes, I'm ready. Sorry, it's gone. What you do is, I'm not going to do it on here just because it's, I'm not going to be actually applying for this, but it says, please complete this task, move on. All you do is click start, and then you're going to click submit. And once you submit it, it's going to be done, and then you'll move to the supervisor aspect of it. On this one, it shows Dr. G is on it. So you just say start, and then let me see what happens actually. Yes, I'm ready. And then you'll just click start and then submit, and then it'll be done. Once you have done that, it will need to be approved, I think by Dr. Malden, but it'll be approved by somebody. It usually happens pretty quick, maybe within the week that you submit it. Excuse me. Once you do that, I'm just going to cancel this because I'm not going there. Once you have done that, what you'll be doing is canceling this. Once you've done that, what you're going to do is, once it's been approved, now you can go to your timesheets. So let's say, let me go. I usually like to look at it the month. There's all different types of ways you can look at it. Usually I like to look at it by the month. And let's say today I went to a site. So let's just say that I have a site already loaded in. So let's just say that I was there for an hour. So I'm going to put in 60, say okay, and then it's going to say 1 hour. And makes the program will always be sports psychology. I think once you have that locked in, it'll always stay there. And then let's say I wasn't at this site, I was somewhere else. You click on this, and then you have all the sites that you've ever been to on here. So you can change it on here. And then if you noticed, I had Shelby as my supervisor, but once I changed it to CBU Dance, it went right to Mario. So once you've locked in a supervisor for a site, once you change the site, it will change your, well, that one didn't. that one doesn't have a supervisor locked to it apparently, but once you change it, it will, change who your supervisor is. If I go to CBU Swim and Dive, apparently that one doesn't either. Oh, they don't have them anyways. Well, forget what I said on that one, but usually, if you look, so it might not necessarily, change it, but when you go, well, that one did apparently. Once you do it, you see it says no changes there. It will only offer the potential supervisors for it. So I have obviously have like 6 different supervisors. This one only lets me choose 2 of them. So again, I'll show swim and dive, either Shelby or Dr. G. So again, the only reason I'm showing 2 is because the supervisors changed for us a little bit. If you only select 1 supervisor, it will only, in the site placements section, it will only have that one pop up. So if we look, Mario's the only one that I have on here. And that's just because I only put him in. So if you only put 1 supervisor, it will do that. The only reason you would need to put more than 1 is if the supervisor changed. I know there were some questions about who is supervising which ones. When you click on the site, it will show different, it potentially will show different supervisors. Typically, Dr. G, Mario, Chelsea, or Shelby are the ones to go to. If you're not sure, I would reach out to whichever one of those ones is on there, because I know Dr. G had a lot of ones he was supervising, but he doesn't have as many anymore, so it went to a few people. So you can make the changes based off that, but if you're not sure, I would just ask before you do it. But usually they're pretty safe ones. I can say for me, the ones you would really be putting me for, because I believe my name is on there, would be Elite Aquatic Sports Team, Esperanza High School, and CBU Swim and CBU Dive. And I think that would be it. But so yeah, so once you have the time down, the site, supervisor, you're going to click on your activities. So you're going to have a select number of um, activities you would do. You only do 1 for each one. So when I look at this, I'm going to go over all of these just because I know there was some confusion with that. So direct knowledge and direct client contact, there will not really be many opportunities for you to be using these 2 during this semester. Mainly the ones you're going to be focusing on are support activities and face-to-face mentorship. Maybe a little bit of direct client contact, but it's mainly going to be support and face-to-face mentorship. So let's start with support activities then. So it gives a little bit of explanation here, but the main things that this is when you go to sites and you're watching practice or watching someone give a session on a specific sports psychology topic. So this is purely just you watching the athletes, watching a mentor or supervisor give a session. So that's pretty much what you guys are going to be logging. Is if you've been to a site and you've just been watching the entire minute you were there, is going to be support activities. So now we have face-to-face mentorship. I realize you guys have individual and individual and group now. So group is going to be your time in practicum. So for every time you've been in practicum, you would just log it down as face-to-face mentorship, and you'd put it for the hour you were there. Individual is when you're talking to one of the mentors outside of practicum. So usually during a session, or if like you have a one-on-one with Dr. G that you're observing and you talk with him after, that will go under face-to-face. So it's actually talking to the mentor about a site you've been to, or like a session or practice that was done. So for this one, the only people that you can actually get face-to-face with are people with CMPCs. So that would be Mario, Dr. G, and Shelby. So like if you're talking with me after like a CBU dive one, you can't get face-to-face mentorship with me because I don't have my CMPC yet. Next one is direct client contact. This is what you guys will be mainly doing starting in spring, and then from then on out. is when you actually give a session to a team. So if you were asked to present on focus and you do it for 30 minutes, you would then log 30 minutes of direct client contact into your Tevera. So it's only the amount of time you're talking. So sometimes you might give like a 20-minute session and then you observe for an hour. Only 20 minutes goes to direct client contact, and then the rest of the hour goes to support activities. Um, there's a few things on this one where it doesn't have to necessarily be an actual session per se. Like, let's say, obviously, if you give a one-on-one, that would count. But let's say you're at practice and then an athlete comes up and asks a question. You talk for like 5 minutes. That counts as well. You can log it in for there. If you're talking with a coach about you're wanting to check in like midway through the season and say like, how do you feel the team's doing? What are maybe some topics that you think would be good to talk about? That would also count because you're still talking about sports psych related things. Now, if an athlete is coming up to you and you're just talking about like this random TV show that you both saw, that wouldn't count. It has to be somewhat related to their performance or what it is you need to be working with. So, talking with athletes about that, talking with coaches. If you have the opportunity later on, maybe you're working with a youth team and a parent comes up to you talking about it, that counts as well. As long as you are talking about things related to building mental skills and maybe how you can work with them, that counts. So there's some ways you can get it even without doing sessions, but it has to be sport related with that. I skipped over this one by accident. Electronic mentorship. Just don't put anything. That's all I was told is don't do it because it's a pain. So um, just ignore it. And then direct knowledge. So direct knowledge is going to be it's very similar to DC. Just the difference is, so it's when you do a session or a one-on-one, the difference is it's when a mentor is watching you. So Mario, Dr. G, or Shelby, if they are actually watching you do it. So let's say, again, you go to dance and Mario's observing when you give like a 10-minute talk. You would log 10 minutes of direct knowledge onto Tevera. Um, and one way that I had to do this actually, because I don't think I ever really had a mentor watch me give a session besides maybe like one or two things. So you might be thinking, oh, it's hard to get the hours I need for direct knowledge. What you can do instead is you can record your session and you can send the video to them so they can watch it and then give you feedback. The way usually I feel that's good, and for those of you that are observing me with CBU Dive, is the way you can do this is you can record it, upload it to YouTube, and you can make it unlisted where only the person with the link can watch the video. So that way you can send it to the mentor and you won't be breaking confidentiality or any other ethical issues because only they can see it. So if you're not in a position where a mentor can actively go to the session with you, you can record it and send it to them. So yeah, so that's just what each of the hours are. And again, I know it's a lot. After like a month or two, you'll understand all of these really easily. But again, if there's questions on that, just let me know. One other thing that I knew of that people were kind of concerned about, I think, of not being able to log their hours yet is, do I have to log my hours the day it happens? And the answer to that is no. So today's the 19th when I'm recording this. Let's say I went to a session on the 10th. I can just click it and then I can add the hours that way. So again, you can go back in the past to it. Let me see if I can go back all the way to when I was in school to show you guys. Okay, yeah. So as you see, you might be logging in a lot per day. So so pretty much every single one. So I did some direct client contact, CBU dance. I did it for 15 minutes and then I logged it. That was the first one of that day. The second one was I was at CMS Swim and Dive and I logged it for there, different time. And then third one, again, same thing. So the whole thing with this is you're going to be, you if you do more than one thing each day, you just click it again, and then you log it in. Um, it's gonna be you can't do, like, if you for the example of doing DC and then support activities in the same day, you would click it, you would log the DC hours, then you would have to re-click the square again and then add the support hours in. You can't do, in one log, like, if I click here, I couldn't put, direct client contact and support activities in the same one. I have to make them separate. So, that's just one thing to be aware of. So it might look a little bit like a lot on here. And obviously, once you see like all the hours that get added on here, you'll be pretty happy because it's showing that you're getting hours and being busy. But so yeah, so that's the gist of logging your hours into here. I don't believe, yeah, I'm not going to be able to. So I'm not going to be able to show you all how to submit your hours monthly on here because it keeps telling me these things are inactive, and I can't show you. Yeah, so let me see actually what happens when I open this. No. Okay. So yeah, so I'll have to probably come into class and have one of you guys log in so I can show you how to submit the hours every month. But for right now, that's basically everything you guys need to know about logging your hours. So again, all sites that you go to need to be on the site placements, get them approved, and then you can start logging them in. Again, I know it's a lot, I know it's confusing, but if there are any questions that I can answer, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to be able to even just either meet with you on campus if I'm there, or we could just meet over Zoom or whatever, and you can share your screen and talk because it's a bit easier to do it when I see it versus over email or GroupMe. So let me know if there are any questions. I hope this helped. Hopefully you can refer back to it again if you forget. But once you get the hang of it, once you do it a few times, it's really simple. It's just a lot to deal with at the very beginning. So let me know if there's anything else I can do, and I hope this helped.